Hey, this is Seagrove. Today I'm trying to go through my rounds very quickly at Louisville. I played the same 60 I played to Baltimore, Abomination Lugia, and I think it was a slightly worse play than it was in Baltimore, but still a very good play. And it was, I didn't have power, I didn't have internet for a while, and that's how I used most of my testings in, so ended up not testing much at all. Didn't go to a single event between the two regionals and went right into it. I'm not gonna go through the list because I went through it in my last video, but I'll just leave it up here on the screen. So round one, I hit a Pokedad playing Cloth, and he didn't draw very well, and I got 2-0 there. The next round, I played a player playing Terapagos, and he played quite well. He said he was very tired. He got in at 4 a.m. that morning due to the hurricane in Florida, so definitely felt for him, and he didn't draw the best. So I was able to just 2-0 again, I believe. The next round, I hit another player playing Terapagos, and he drew exceedingly well and was able to get me. And so I lost 2-. So I'm 2-1 now. Next round, I hit Dragapult, and Wellspring is really good into Dragapult and able to KO 2 Dreepy if they only get down 2, which I was able to do. The next round, I hit another Terapagos. Oh no, I hit Cloth. And hit Cloth again. And Cloth, this card drew much better, but Lugia V-Star is really good into Cloth with the resistance. And then you have Chinchino and Iron Hands you can work in. You have to, I think the poison doesn't really work out with Iron Hands to get around Legacy because he's weak to fighting. It's much more difficult for them to pull off that. So Iron Hands is really good in that matchup despite the weakness because of the Legacy energy. So then I beat him, I believe 2-0 as well. And then I go to another Terapagos player. This guy was really fun to play against. A great sport. And we were 1-1 in game 3. I have Ursaluna start, nothing. So I just draw attach pass. He gets a pretty good setup. I get a Lugia down, but just one, so I know it's going to get KO'd, so I just attach to Ursaluna again so that I can revenge with 3 energy in the next turn. So he knocks out. I put an energy on Ursaluna, Iona him to 4 and take a knockout, and he isn't really able to recover from that. The next turn I'm able to jet my Lumineon, retreat back into Ursaluna and Boss, and then take a KO there. And then, again, he can't really do too much, so I jet into Weirdeer, take all the energies from the bear except for 1, just take a 1 prize knockout, and then boss and take another 1 prize knockout to win it. So, it was really fun to win a game without using V-Star, but a little nerve-wracking as well. The next round, I played against another Terapagos. This is my 4th Terapagos day 1, and I win game 1, game 2 is going okay, but I take my first 2 prizes, and I notice there are 5 cards left. I said, hey, did I take 2 prizes? And my opponent said yes. I said, well, there's 5 here. So I called the judge over, and he said, oh, well, let me talk to the head judge about it. And they came to the conclusion, which is this I learned recently myself, relatively recently, is that if you put out an extra prize card, you don't benefit from it. So it was just a warning. I felt bad because my opponent also got a warning, and it was like really hard to notice because 2 of the cards were kind of stuck together. You couldn't really see the second one, and they give him a warning too, so I felt bad about that. But because I didn't get a double prize loss, I was able to take that set 2-0. And then the next round I'm 6-1 at this point. My next round I hit Snorlax, which is pretty favored, and I'm able to beat it. My opponent was a newer player, and he played a bit slow. Like if the roles had been reversed, if I'd been playing Snorlax and he'd been playing Lugia and he were playing at the pace he played at, I would feel like he was slow playing me. But game 1, it was kind of over by turn 2. Like he had a really bad start, but he kept playing it, and it ended up going to like 35 minutes. But I was never worried about losing it, or very rarely. So yeah, so game 2, and we actually did finish game 2. I think he picked up his pace a bit in game 2, and then I won 2-0, but yeah, so we talked about time management a little after that, and found out he's from pretty close to me actually, and he was a really cool guy, so that was cool. But Going into day 2, I hit the Lugia mirror round 1, and my opponent told me he hadn't even gotten a hotel for today. He had to find one last night because he did not think he was making day 2. And so I'm able to... I lose game 1. He was a newer player. He left some holes open for me to make a comeback, but just wasn't in the cards. I couldn't find the pieces I needed to make it work. But then game 2 I got to go first, and I won. And then game 3... he just attached to Lugia passed, and so he has 6 cards in hand, and I had to Luminion and Squawk, and I started like Wordia or something, or Minccino, I don't remember what it was, and then I get 1 Lugia down, and I have the option to get down a second, but then if he doesn't take a knockout, I only get 1 Archeops, and I just decided I don't think he's getting it. His hand would have to be like pretty good to get it, to get the boss and the Archeops out, and he has to have another attachment. So I decided I don't think he would get it. So he draws, flips the Capturing Aroma. Luckily he got tails. If he got in heads, I would have lost the game. He gets a Raikou, puts it down, or fish, I don't remember which one. And then Ultra Balls for a Chops, Ultra Balls to Chops for a V-Star. Plays the V-Star, plays fish, gets boss, and his hand's gone, except for the boss. V-Star's Chops on the board, boss is my Lugia, uses Chops, and then realizes, oh, I have to put a DT on this, I'm only doing 200. So, yeah. I ended up, he just scooped. He was like, oh, you got it. And he shouldn't have, but based on my hand, it was over. Like, I had V-Star for double Chops, I had Iron Hands, and a boss, so I was just gonna amp you very much for 2 prizes on his Archeops, and he would be in big trouble after that. So was able to get that round. The next round I hit Gabe Smart. He's playing Terapagos. He beat me game 1. I think I played fine in that game. Game 2 I misplayed quite a bit. This is probably the worst game I played all day. Turn 1 he started Fez. I'm going first. I started Lugia. I could have put a DTE on Lugia, but I was like, I don't know. I felt like I might knock out this Fez next turn, but so I didn't want to put the DTE on, but I think I should have. Definitely I should have with what happened, but I think just in general it would have been the better play. So I just attach DT. I don't attach. The next turn I'm able to get set up, and he had retreated into like Fan Rotom or something. I go into Water Boy and the Wellspring Ogerbone, and I take out the active, and I can't remember if it was a Dusk. I think it was a Hoodoo that I took out. And then he gets set up, bosses my Chops, and KOs it. So I have like 1 or no energy on board, but it's okay because, yeah, I have 1 energy on my Lugia. It's okay because I have an attachment in hand. Or no. I don't remember exactly. Maybe I had an attachment on Bear. I don't remember. But I'm able to take a 2 prize knockout, and I Irida, and I should have Iono'd. I Irida for counter catcher. No, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I misplayed. I played an Irida when I should have Iono'd, but the big misplay is I had Legacy in hand. I should have put it on my Archeops so that because I know he's gonna boss and KO it, but I'm like kind of hoping I can hands or Ogerpon again, which was really dumb. I should have just put that on Archeops, and then if he can KO it, but he's at 1 prize, and he would be at 5 prizes, and I would have been at 2. So I would have felt pretty good despite having my board destroyed. So that was bad. That was pretty bad. So I lost that one due to very poor play. The next round was the craziest round. So I sit at the wrong table. I saw 44 and I was at 40. I saw 46 and I was at 47, so I went past 46, sat down, but I was actually sitting at 45, and they were on stream. So me and my opponent, who's like 2 tables over, raise our hand, Judge, I don't have an opponent, and then they come and they realize what's going on. So I move over, I get a late penalty, even though it's like 30 seconds, deservedly, and then he wins game 1. Game 2, he took 2 prizes off of knocking out my Lugia with a Legacy, and I didn't notice, and he didn't notice. and then I play Iono, and like we're shuffling or no, I'm about to play Iono, and I'm like, hey man, you should only have 4 prizes. You have 4 prizes, you should have 5. And he's like, just call a judge. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, just call a judge. So I called the judge, and the judge came over, gave him a double prize penalty. I take another knockout, I think I took another knockout, and then the next turn he plays Jacques. I just show him I have boss for game, and he scoops. We go to game 3. Oh, and the judge gave us a 2-minute time extension, even though that probably only took a minute. So we go to game 3, and he does not have a good start, and I have a fine start. But he played very honorably. He didn't slow play. He didn't even, which I might have done this. I would have gone for like the win, but he was playing 2-2 Cinchino. I would have stuck with 1 prize, like Cinchino, V-Star with a legacy, double chops. Maybe he just didn't have the option, but I would have done that. But I would say it is more honorable to not do that, and that's what he did. But it was crazy to me. So they call time during his second turn, so I haven't even V-starred yet, and he couldn't get chops on this card. So they come over and say, that's time, but you have a 2-minute extension, we'll be back. So I just draw, play super fast, get an attack off, it's his turn. He can't do too much, he just kind of bosses to stall. I just draw jet, attack, and I take 2 prizes, so now at least like I can possibly win. And then he takes his turn, bosses again to stall, draw jet, attack, I take another 2 prizes, and then they came by and they say, okay, this is time in the round or whatever. And I don't remember if I won on turn 1 or turn 3, but I ended up getting the game, and it felt a little bit bad, but I don't know. I got it, and I wasn't going to give it back, you know. So, I mean, if I hadn't sat at the wrong table, I would have just won 2-0, and I did win 2-0. I mean, no, 2-1, and I did win 2-1. But, I don't know. It was bad. It was weird. So then the next round, I hit Lost Box, and I think I misplayed a little bit in the beginning. I just haven't played against Lost Box in so long. And I used Ogre Poem to take 2, and he hands me for 3, and I was like, oh yeah, forgot about that. So that was bad. But I think I'm losing that game anyways. I had to attack with Luminion just to get off the board. Or maybe that was the next game. I don't remember. Anyways, he 2-0s me. Game 2, he had a pretty cool play. I thought it was over, and I felt like he was wasting time because he was wanting to ID and just get top 32 each of us. But I told him I don't think if we ID either of us get top 32, I think we both get 64 if we do that. So I wanted to play it, and I was correct about that. But I lost and still got 64. So he like bosses my Ursaluna, or no, he counter characters my Ursaluna and Ionos me, and then swings with his own Ursaluna so that he can hand me for 3. Or not Iono, Roxanne. And then all I had to do was get a fish, an Ultra Ball, a boss, even a Nest Ball for bundle, because I could one-shot anything but his Ursaluna. But I got 3 cards that were like energy, I don't remember. So, lost that, and, you know, I got to congratulate him, especially because I felt like I had been kind of annoying to him, like, hey man, is there any way you can win this? And he's like, yeah, I have an out. So, got to say congratulations and very well played to him, and then, yeah, that was it. So I finished 42nd, and those are my rounds. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Peace.